So let's kind of walk through something. So this is a kind of a practice. This would be set up in a live meeting platform. I would encourage you to, and I know we're not doing this today, but I would encourage you to really see the faces in your classroom so that you know that they're paying attention, they are participating, and they're part of a team. That's very important in online. So today's objective, we're going to walk through this, is discuss the impact of unprofessional behavior in the workplace. So what I want you to do is imagine that we all work at the same fast food place. And I'm going to give you a scenario and some roles. And your job is to put yourself in those roles and answer my questions honestly. So here's the scenario. We have a coworker, and her name is Alison. She's pictured here. She was just hired. She's very eager to learn, but she's quite shy. And you have heard others make fun of her and talk about her behind her back. And one day, one of your coworkers says, hey, we should play a joke on her. Let's take her cell phone and hide it. And some of the coworkers think that this is a really funny idea. So I want you to take a second, think about that, put yourself in that, that scenario. All right, next slide. So now I want you to think you are all the coworkers that think this is a good idea. Let's play the joke. So I want you to respond on why you think this is a good idea. So today, if you'd like to respond, you can. Otherwise, if you want to use the chat. Otherwise, you can, what I would do is just, have the students kind of one by one just share what they would think. Now they could say, oh, it's harmless. It's a fun thing to do. We'll give the cell phone back and everything. So then the next slide. Now I want you to imagine yourself as all the coworkers that were against the prank. All right? Why would you be against the prank? Well, some people could say, well, I could get in trouble. It's kind of mean. Okay? Would you say anything, to those people that wanted to carry out the prank? Well, I'd maybe tell them, don't get us in trouble, or it's not nice to do. I don't know. Next slide. So let's say the prank happens and our phone is gone. She reports it to her manager, and now you are all the managers, okay? And you find out about the prank. What would you say to all the coworkers then? Maybe things like pranks are considered bullying. It's not tolerated here. There's maybe consequences for the pranks. You might lose your job. Next slide. And finally, I want all of you to put yourself as Alison. How did it make you feel? Maybe students would say, well, I felt like I don't belong, or they don't like me. And then say, well, what are you going to say to your coworkers back after you find out about the prank? And I'm sure some people would say nothing. I don't think I'd say anything. And then the question would be, well, do you want to stay working there? No. And now I want everyone to think, if Alison leaves, how does that impact the workers, the managers? Think about that. Well, the workers may have to cover her shifts. They might work down a person. Manager will have to spend time hiring and orientating somebody new. So now that we did a little role playing there, we have to do our debriefing, right? So like all simulations, we have to debrief and reflect. So what emotions did you feel during the role play? Well, some people might say, well, I felt anger. I felt sadness. I felt bad for her. What do you think you did well? Well, I think I chose my words well. I tried to address my coworkers, about the prank. Then I'd ask what would change. And some people might say, well, after I thought about Alison's perspective, I might not have been part of the prank. I maybe would have said different things. And the biggest thing, remember our objective was about the understanding of unprofessionalism? Do you have a greater understanding of the impact of unprofessionalism in the workplace? And the answer would be yes. So note how the role play was presented. I deliberately had the students think as in they were in different people's roles. This builds empathy and it also builds understanding. It actually makes the students stop and really think. And this is the key to soft skills, and it can be done very well in an online environment.